love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. Turning back, I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
It's just down and to your left.
And you tap with your right.
Look over to the side.
Where you can join and subscribe. This Crypto IRA, the really drives you out. Let's hit the like button now.
Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone to a surprise version of Road Dog. Was it the Chart Lounge? That's the one I use during the daytime. If I do a surprise stream during the daytime, it's Saturday, the best I can tell, the best I can remember. Days and nights get a little confused when things start getting a little exciting here in crypto. And look at Bitcoin. We're looking at it on a small time frame. I just check it out on the small one. Make my plans on a big time frame. Let me clarify that. Always clarify that. It's always best to do your analysis top down. And then I like to follow it on the small one. I choose a 6 minute. Could go with the 5 minute. Could went with a 7 minute. Just as long as I get a small one through there. You know. It's just a little bit more fun to watch than watching paint dry if you're watching on the bigger one. We got a nice little breakout happening here. This morning it seems to be pretty good for Bitcoin and for the altcoins. Bitcoin's above the 200 moving average there. Other moving averages getting ready to cross up there. Some of them crossing already. It's a good sign that we're heading up to close to $100,000. I'd be very pleased to see that happen this week. Draw some trend lines here to kind of pave the road forward that we're driving on. That's what a channel is. It's the little road that we're swerving around on. And we can swerve to the left side, swerve to the right side, to the upside, to the downside. More, and I like the upside better. I like to get in that passing lane, go a little faster than over here on the slow lane. And I think we're getting ready to get in that passing lane. Looks like we might try to do that this weekend. Money flow is coming into the green awful nicely there. I was going to spend this stream looking at some of the top altcoins. Actually, what I'm going to do, I will entertain requests. I'm cool with that. Of course, super chats and all that will get priority. I've got to do that now. Or else I stand here getting on a 3-hour stream, and I can do it because I get lost in these charts. But one of the things that I do want to go through is, we are getting a nice little altcoin pump here. It could go up to 114 trillion. It could just go up just a little bit more, maybe a 107. We could find some stopping points through here, or we could go up for a higher high on total 3, which is that's what we're all banking for. It's what we're all hoping for. This is a breakout on total 3 off of some very, very strong support. We can get number go up from here on altcoins. So I'm going to go over, basically, for my list for today, I'm going to go over, I figure I'll go over some of the spot coins that I have over on CoINEX. These are some of my spot coin holds. Just that some that I got there, I got a position in, but I think they might be something to hold on to or look at. I'm also going through here and doing a cut list on this. So I'm doing this live. And I've also got a lot of coins I got spot margin. A lot of them are higher tier. They're not like little small degen plays or small cap coins. A lot of those are some of the bigger ones that I can, are good to make some gains on. So I'm going to go weed through some of those too. So I've got a list of coins to go down. So I've got my list already, and it can't overlap. But you guys can request some too. I just may not get them all. Let me point that, and I will give, if there are any super chats, that's what I'd focus on mostly. But right now, some of the ones I'm going over might be some of the ones that you'd be interested in. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at, I'm going to look at others. We normally look at total 3, but I'm going to zoom out and look at others. We're going to zoom out to the daily. That will help give us a feel for what will happen over the next day or two, in my personal opinion here. And same thing with others. We're finding support online. We got a new trend line there. If we got a new angle here, see, we were up here. We lost that little guy. Now notice that is giving us a little indication. When we see this happen, we lose the main trend line. We come below it. We find support. We don't get going down or anything like that. We find support. We start going up, or maybe we immediately break it and keep going up. Either of those scenarios that happen. The first thing that we got to look at, with the way that I look at this with my trend line strategies and everything, I want to look at both the candle bodies and the candle tops there. That little range right through here. Let me color code it so we can identify this. Because this will be the first areas that I look for possible rejection, where we could be coming up with the scenario making a double top. That could be. That was the original trend line. And wherever price bumps into this trend line, even if it's a higher high, and it could be, Fibonacci would help us kind of determine those areas right here. We could get rejected along this trend line too. That's the little clues that trend line strategy can give you, that you probably are not ever going to see, that you will miss if you're just a tip pincher, which a lot of the instructors out here are. They just get to the smaller time frames and just pinch the little tip, trying to figure out if it can give us any insight. And I like to give you a different way to look at the market this way. Mostly zooming out helps you. It does. I know there are some people out there teaching you that 1 minute will give you all the insight into the future, that everything holds, but it doesn't. It just gives you a bunch of noise. It is a bunch of noise. If you know how to, if you're ready to get into the nitty gritty of the noise after you've sifted through the bigger time frames, well, you have better luck with that. But just going and jumping right into the noise, oh man, that 1 minute's going to lie to you. It's going to fake you out. And you see that with some of the teachers of it. They get faked out a lot. They just keep on it minute by minute, trying to stay up to date. But here's what we got going on for others on the daily. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is huge. We're right at the beginnings of the flippening. The flippening is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Altcoins have got a good chance to get a nice come up. How long will it last? That I can't tell you, but we do know altcoins, they go up and then they like to give back a lot of those gains. I mean, a lot, sometimes all. We've seen that happen 2 or 3 times over the past, 8-9 months? Goes up, comes all the way back down. You could have just been in Bitcoin while Bitcoin has been taken off and just recently built your altcoin bags, and you'd be just as good, and sometimes even in a better position than those who have built their bags, their altcoin bags, over the past 2 years. And that's just the truth. That's flat up truth. I'm seeing that myself in my portfolios with some of these positions. But right now, number going to be going up. Do you remember that good time when portfolios, you looked at your portfolio like, oh my God, this is the highest it's ever been. And if you didn't take profits there, didn't take enough profits there, it's just part of the game. The portfolio came way down. You're like, oh man, but I was up so good. And that's how fast that you can lose those margins. So that's what we got with altcoins. It's best to take, in my personal opinion, what I'm planning on doing is taking some more serious profits on their next rise up. It gives me more serious buys on the next leg down, which there will be in altcoins. They just do it. So it tells us that, number getting ready to go up for altcoins. These are all the D-Gen-Y altcoins. This is all the ones outside the top 10 for altcoins. Includes a lot of stable coins and whatnot, and big tier altcoins. This is outside of that. That means our bags are getting ready to pump over this next week. Maybe next 2 weeks, depends on how many days that we go up. Look, we can go up for several. This was the last come up when we were all happy. This is where we lost it all and we got sad. This is where some of your gurus started talking about capitulating. They were seriously talking about capitulating. They were seriously talking about this run being over, that we could be going down. And it's on the table that we could, but they were looking at it. They were getting kind of seriously scared of actually getting into areas about 60,000 or lower. And that just does not fit in with our cycle right now. It just doesn't. That would have been very sad. But I mean, you have to make, you got to manage your risk and you got to entertain those ideas. But to jump into that and say, I'm just going to sell it now because I think it's going to, without your confirmations, they're not teaching so much the confirmations to wait on, in my personal opinion. And you've got to wait for fairly or you're going to jump out there and make a choice too early and get faked out. And here we are, January. Up month should be a good, fairly decent up month for altcoins, especially for altcoins, and Bitcoin should do fairly well here too. So I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance, and this is also going on in our favor as this one's getting rejected from these areas, and then hopefully we'll be coming down and making lower low. We got some areas of support, so she can fake us out. I'm just letting you know. There's some signs here on Bitcoin dominance that leads me to believe that we could get faked out, meaning if you don't take your profits in altcoins, you're going to give it back when Bitcoin dominance starts taking back off. If that scenario plays out, we're not out. We don't have confirmation that it's going to break down here and come lower low. We are at the area where, hey man, after this weekend, hey man, we might see things just totally reverse, and all that hopium that we've been seeing on total 3 and our others dominant or others. Total 3 and others represent altcoins. The Bitcoin dominance says, baby, I could flip that on a dime for you. The good thing that we got going for us though is, remember that MACD on the daily on those? That's giving us the wink and the nod that that this could be lost. That's the biggest hint that I've got that this will be lost, is what we're seeing on the total 3 and others charts. But we want to wait for that confirmation before we really go crazy. But once we get that, and we are so close to getting that I would expect that to happen this weekend. I would like to see by Monday we get a candle open below this on Bitcoin dominance, and then that would be your combination, or that would be the safest place to say, it's time to go hard, brothers. It's time to go hard. But right now we're going to get ready for that event, and we're going to try to find us some good setups. Some of us might degen into them, and that's fine, as long as you know there is a sign here that says, I might hand your ass to you and fake you out. It's possible. I am seeing signs that maybe it won't short term. Down here, though, it could be a totally different story. So if we do get a break in this and come down, I highly recommend that you have a good profit-taking strategy so you don't give them back up when we come back up, if that's the scenario we find ourselves in. So that's what I've got. Let me say hello to everybody, and then we'll start jumping into some of these altcoin lists that I got, because I want to do my best to go through it fairly fast and not spend so much time breaking things down or teaching. This is more for information and finding setups. I'll try to also post them over to the trading community that we got. By the way, if you're not familiar with the trading community, I'm going to post those lists here. I have a free trading community, a non-monetized. So I'm going to start describing it that way. You say free, where's the paywall? There's no paywall. It's just a free gift. And I mean, it's not ran like somebody that's getting paid $100,000 a month from the trading group to go in there and be in there all the time. Yeah, I'm not doing that, but I am posting over there. It's a community where people, your trading groups really are more of a community of sharing, right? Only this one, you don't have to pay somebody and give them a high lifestyle that they can claim that they made from trading 1 minute charts. We've got Bullish on Parade. Yo, peeps. LFG. So Joe's here. Oh, I didn't go up high enough. We got Bullish on Parade, Duality Crypto, Joe from Trade Intuition, another YouTuber. Let me give him a quick shout out here because I've not done it in a minute. I thought I had you up here, Joe. Oh, that's not you. That was the wrong one. I can't even spell. So this is Joe. If you're not familiar with Joe, another YouTuber. If you're looking for a paid group and you need somebody to kind of give you that guidance, this is the only person I'm going to recommend. I get nothing from this whatsoever. I'm familiar with how he works because he was actually a mentor, an admin in a trading group that I was in before, and he was the only one that really gave people what they were paying for to get there. I'm just saying. So a good one, if you are looking for, that's the only group that I would recommend. You can reach out to him on his channel, but he also goes live every day, sometimes 3 times a day out there doing free mentorship. Another one, trying to share what works for them with you guys so that you can resonate and change your life and learn to do this without getting the wool pulled over with your eyes. Let's go ahead and get to the stream. I don't want to get onto the whole narrative there, but Joe's worth checking out. Finish saying hello to everybody here. Make sure I got the right chat up. Let me pull you up again. And we will get into it. I got 21 beautiful people hanging out with me right now. Thank you so much. For a daytime stream, that's really, really good for me. Oh, you gave away the secret code. So we got Duality Crypto, Joe from Trade Intuition. We got Jason, Bullish on Parade. The Echelon Show, Board PC Guy. Glad to see all you guys here. We got Jason. Happy to have all of you here. I'm very blessed. You choose to spend your free moments of time with me. Bug Pick. Billy C. How's it going? Shane Fletcher. Live stream on with the road dog. On the road with the road dog. Even better. Solana. We will get there. Patrick Canham. Yo fam, taking a little profits on AI tokens, thinking of picking up deep in while everyone is distracted. Not a bad move. That's when you want to start getting in, when nobody's talking about it. When people are distracted, it is a good narrative that will definitely be getting its hype, the cycle. It will. The AI agent things, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon now, so all that stuff is kind of up. AI 16Z though, man, my bag on that one. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I wish I went in harder, but I'm very impressed with the numbers it's giving me now. I'm like, because I wouldn't jump out there and buy a bag that size of it just right now. Definitely wouldn't, but I'm happy with it. Brackets Adventures, Trey Spot, Jungle Boy 420. I hear ya. A little hopium for the masses. Your chicken legs are in the way. Switch to fish. I kind of wish I had a smoking chicken fish face. I think that would be funny. I would be a mascot for smoking chicken fish. I don't know how to do that. Well, these faces, these what are the filters? Mask, I think is technically what this one's considered. These are all public domain. Who knows? Maybe I'll learn how to do all that stuff. That would be cool. George Satoshi, Bartcoin, Asscoin, and Butthole are flying. You say that out loud 2 or 3 times, and then you look and say, this is where I'm putting my life savings. I mean, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? It makes you think that, but probably can't last forever, and I would probably agree. But yeah, that's right. That's what's going. That's the hype right now. The hype is a wave. It ebbs and flows, and if you're not taking profits at the tops, you get to experience the deep valleys at the bottoms. Joe says, May's mentor that trades on the 1 minute said that he is a trendsetter, and I believe him because he made all of his money from trades, not members. Crypto front end your own early. I do this from time to time. Yeah. You don't see me do it as often because I don't get as many people hanging out too often with the stream. We lost people. We're down to 18 now. So I'm boring some people with what I'm doing right now, I guess. King Hell, welcome to stream. Poly77, your most entertaining crypto influencers I've found. You also deliver alpha info. I do try to deliver alpha info. I'm just a fool. You get me behind a mask and I go stupid. I say stupid stuff. But I thank you. Thank you. If it's entertaining, then at least it's not as boring, because basically, I mean, we're looking at charts here. I mean, this is boring nerd stuff. This is what kept me from learning this stuff, because there's no way I was interested in learning that bored nerd stuff. But the bored nerd stuff is not that bad. It's not that hard to get a grasp of, and it will make you a buttload of money. It can change your life. It's worth doing. I'd wish I had seen this before I spent money on my 6-year college education, which I never earned anything from those degrees. Never. Gotta say, I made more through this than I ever have through my college education. That's flat out right. That is flat out paid for my college education. All right. Better than a college education right here. All right, let's start going down my list here. I'm going to look at some of the ones I got on spot. They're not offered to do spot margin on CoinEx, and that's why they're sitting on spot. This is on my CoinEx account. My biggest spot position right now is virtual. I just put a little in it when it was down low and it was first coming out. I nibbled. She started doing good, and then, you know, that whole thing took off a lot better than I ever expected. It just did. I didn't deep dive into the project as much as maybe I should have. If I had, maybe I would have more conviction to bought more. But I'm not bitching at all, because this bag has popped. We first started looking, you know, roughly after we first started getting some little hype. And so when it comes to these new coins coming out, you know, they usually be flatline like this, and they'll get a nice little hype, right? A nice spike up. And at the point in time when you're saying that, what? Can't buy those ring candles at 50 cents. It's at 50 cents now. It's almost 10x from here now, right? So when the new coins are coming out, you do have to have that mentality. If you want to go in it, you got to be ready to buy high to hopefully build a bag, because she just, you know, she basically just, if you want to look at it, flagged out on a daily, or just went sideways basically, and then started taking off. She didn't come back down here to reaccumulate. She was holding this area tight. This is when I decided to get in, because otherwise I would have been looking at this as a possible double top, you know, whatever. Anyway, you gotta nibble on some of these if you're interested in them when they first come out, or else they have a tendency to do this. Unless they come down and go down here. I can show you plenty of examples where they don't do this, right? I think you can show me plenty of examples where they don't do this. But this one did do this. And now at some point, she's got to pull back. And when she does and gets a steeper pullback, I plan on putting more in. I did put a little bit more in at the top, showing the buy high and sell higher strategy and how risky it was. And I sure didn't. It's a trade setup that it's my very least favorite trade setup, and for the reason it gave me. So if I'm looking at some things going on here, I like this. Mostly we're going to be looking at the daily charts on all this. This one's ready to get a comeback. Okay, this one's ready to get a comeback. The best thing to do, in my personal opinion, is to look for this area. Zooming out all the way bottom to top. 382 Fibonacci. We want to look for that one. Most definitely. No guarantees we'll come down there, but a good chance. And if it can hold this trend line, so much the better, we might bump out. Now, usually you'll get 3 little humps and then you get a dump, and that fits in with Elliott wave. It's like a little cheat sheet for Elliott wave theory. And that's exactly what Elliott is saying, an ABC correction. And that could spell us down here back at $2 for this. So I know, but it's $3 right now or $4 right now. How can it go back? It can go back there. It can, because they get a nice move up and then they got to come back and consolidate and reaccumulate as people take profits over there. This one's set up that it wants to do. This is not one we want to chase right now, is the word. So this one is one that you want to be thinking about paying yourself a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead, as much as I don't want to do that, I want to do that today. Well, let me come down to a smaller time frame. What are you looking at? We've got here, I'm on the 15-minute. Now we got a 200 moving average. The price has been down below, and now look what happened. It crossed below to 360. We got, Chad, you can see virtual come down and touch these two moving averages down here on this particular time frame. That is on the picture, 392. So she's a little bit tired. She probably needs to take a little break. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to sell 25% of my bag right there. I didn't get the top because I wasn't paying attention, but I am. We're at a good spot, and it's telling me that we're likely to lose a little bit. Lost a trend line, can come down. So virtual, that's what I got on it. You're not doing. It's not worth me doing a trade setup, but it is a profit-taking area. What else have we got? What's my second biggest spot position? I got Peak, very popular one here. Let's take a look at it on the daily. Also up pretty good. She's at what, 65%? What are we doing? We caught support, and we could be going for a higher high. We could also just as easily be going for a double top. That's something we got to keep in mind. Ooh, that's nice. I'm going candle bodies to candle bodies over here, and I'm lining up with that. That's actually a good sign. That's making me think this one, we got that. You could even go this, and it's already broken out. Let me take a deeper look at this one. Are you getting ready to do something bullish on me? What do the fibs say? We got a 0.5. Yeah, it could be. Bouncing off of a 0.5 is also another one that gives you a really good move. I mean, from what I've been able to tell, they might even have bonus points coming, because one of the targets, the fib areas that they can go to on the upside is the 2, which I don't even have on here. I got to flip this. Well, I got to pull my fib from a different way to get that 2. Going from my cheat codes here. Okay, it's taking us up to this area. I'm going to pull this down. I've got to move there 106. Now, I cannot remember exactly, but since we got a little fine tunement going on here, I'm going to lower it down to about 104 as a possible move there. So we're still within this idea, meaning that we might be in a steep channel, and steep channels can break down. I'm not seeing a whole lot of confluence, so. But she ain't breaking down right now, is she? What we want to make sure is that we don't double top. So you might start seeing me do this more often, just so that, because you got to be aware of this when we're in these situations. That she could double top and then lose it. But this trend line here, it makes it a little less of a probability. Most of the time, you would see that happening. This is the trend line, the original trend line I was trying to follow. This is the one that will give us some strong resistance if we bump up and touch it. But look how steep it is. I mean, seriously, you could bump all the way up here to our crazy ass target at 104, 105, and still be honoring that trend line. The beauty of trend lines. So this one's got some possibility, in my personal opinion, when we come down to a smaller time frame to see what it looks like. Oh, you're on an ABC correction is what Elliot's saying. I didn't turn Elliot off. Maybe that would be implying a double top scenario. So, she's flagging to the upside. Is she? She might be. If I'm looking for a flag, I'm not liking what I see there. I'm not liking, but let's fib her out. Elliot seems to think she's got a little something there to go at least a little higher. I do too now. 382. Respecting that, I'll agree with you, Elliot. I think you got something. Elliot is suggesting maybe a 77 cents. These you can actually take a measure move, put it to that Fibonacci, that 382, takes you up here to our 618. Elliot's also got that one at 85 cents. We're off just a little bit, I guess, from a measure move or a pull. So there's room for error when you do this manually, but hey, it can nail it. We got a target at 84 previously from something. That was a 618. Why are 618s not matching up, Elliot? Why are you getting different 618s than I am? We should be a lot closer. So we're looking at 84, 86 in these areas. That could be a good target. And then Elliot also has this one up here. I've already got a trend line over here. Resist. Oh, that was our Wicks areas right there. That was at the top. Tuner in there a little bit. And so if we're going to M top, that might be where we do it. Or if we go higher, I got a measure move area that would, I'm gonna go ahead and mark it blue. Blue, I said blue. At 86, that would be awesome. So we got those ideas. We turned Elliot off. I think this one could be an extension play to add to a position. That's how I would, you could enter it or add to a position. I would actually add to a position. I mean, that would be my preference. If you don't have it, then I guess you would be starting a position. I like that target there. Stop losses can be tight beneath this flag, beneath that, because if we lose the 32, maybe we're coming down. You can get tight stop loss. Stop losses are something that you got to work out with yourself and your own risk management. Some people might look at that and say, that is too tight, road dog, too tight, I'll just get stopped out. And you might. I think it's got a lot of room, because if it makes a lower low than what we got here, well, this idea is gone. What we're saying has a probability of happening is just change the script on us, and that's no longer what we're working with. We got to identify what we're working with now. We got to redefine it. But that's a possible 32% gains out of this. I like this to add to. And on the indicators here on the 1 hour, giving us a green light. Again, the MACD on the daily for most altcoins, it was not on virtual. Did you see that? I pointed that out. It's not on virtual. Virtual skipped a comeback. But a lot of them are, we got the coins that went up, got all the attention. People are selling off from them, and they're looking for new entries on some of these other coins. And that's exactly what we're doing too. We're trying to identify some of those new entries or places to add into our current bags. We got this on peak, in my personal opinion. It needs more confirmations. Because look, if we take the wicks into the effect, we've not really got, or we still got room for a breakout to fail, right? But by the candle body ideas, then we're right there at flirting with the breakout area. I think for my setup, I'm going to leave that up here. So let's share this idea. Let's take a little copy of that, put it over. We're going to put this over into the chart room. Let me throw those links into the chat here in case you're not familiar. There's the Telegram group with the AI bot, and that's the main chat area is what that is. And then there's the chart room, which is a maze of subtopics. The one that we're going to put this under is trade setups. And I got PEAQ. 1 hour swing trade idea, or great place to add to current position, in my opinion. Now, I could go through here. I feel bad about not doing it, but because I'm doing this live, not going through and giving a detailed explanation and typing it out and targets and all that, you're probably not going to get that from my free group. Now, you'll get that from some other paid groups, and I know Joe, he's excellent about doing that and keeping updates. That's some of the differences that you will see between my free community and your paid groups, or a good paid group. Let me put that, a good paid group. All right, so there we go. That's an idea. I like what I'm seeing here for peak. Jungle Boy, I'm in Libya, in a village in the middle of the Sahara in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I watch you all the time. That was cool. I'm just over here checking out the Where was that? I need to post that. Yeah, there. So shout out to Jungle Boy, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully this show can add some value to your life. To your crypto life. Bobby Guys, how's it going? There's Glittery Marshmallow. What? I almost missed you. Can we look at Dogecoin, please? We will be Doges on my list. It may take me a while to get there, though. And I may have to come back for... Bullish on Praise says, did some nerd work on Entangle ticker? NGL price 11 cents. I'm very bullish on it. Chart is a grower and not a shower. That might be a cool one to look at. Hey, there's Ivy. How's it going? Ivy, I think you requested Zeus last night. I think you said I didn't get the right one. If you got a contract address or anything like that and post it in there, I'll make sure that I'll go back over that. I think you might have. There was a super chat for it, and I'll make sure I get the right one. And to look at grass, yeah, I will. I just have a list of coins I just want to go over a little quick. So we went over virtual, went over peak. The next one I want to look at is prime. So we're looking for a possible double top or a possible higher high here. Prime, Echelon Prime. Guess we can look at Coinbase. Ooh, nice. Also at double toppy areas, but she made a higher high. Cool thing about making a higher high, well, here's the thing. When we get here, the trade setup is and this is my worst one. I absolutely hate them. They always bite me in the ass. It's what happened with virtuals. But you know, it's a valid setup. It's just risky as hell. It's the buy high, sell higher. So we could be double topping. It could get a higher high, but you know, if we're going into price discovery or we're starting to bust out of areas, I mean, we got to always remember that, okay, we're getting ready to make a higher high. Maybe the higher high is at 618, and that makes perfect sense. That's coming at $19. You will get a higher low, and that higher low will probably more likely follow whatever your bottom trend line is. You would hope and pray that we'd touch here, flip this as support, and then go, you know, blast up. That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're hoping for when you get this. But in this one, you need tight stop losses on a situation like this, because what happens most of the time, you get rejected, you come down, make your higher low, and it turns out if you just been a little bit more patient, you could have got a better entry near a bottom trend line. And that's another reason why you'll see me. I mostly like to enter trades on the bottom trend line. I do not. Because I would say about 99% of the trades I've ever taken this way always went against me. Even if it's short term, that's it's an opportunity cost for could be up to weeks or more. And opportunity costs keep you from building that bag and making that life change of money. Because there's only so many opportunities within the next 12 months. Let's try to pick some good ones. So I'm looking for this one to come up to here. I don't know if it will get past it. If it does, that's great, but this is not the place to buy it. Not the smartest place to buy it, so I'm not doing a trade setup on Echelon Prime. But I am looking at targets at $19.23. Even up here, I don't want to forget that. This one, I think, has a better chance to hit, for real. 25. All right, let's move on from here. The next one I got is Ironfish. This is one that Ian Bellina from Tokenmetrics about a year and a half ago mentioned as being a possible 100x coin. Unique play on it, but man, this is a performance so far. What to do with this is against Bitcoin. This is what it looks against Bitcoin. Bitcoin has killed it. If I'd put, so if you bought, even when it was cheap to the dollar, if you bought it anywhere over the past year, you would have been better served putting that money into Bitcoin. You put $1,000 into this one. I'm going to invest $1,000 into this. You would have done better investing $1,000 into Bitcoin, because this one just took your $1,000 under that hypothetical, and now your $1,000 is worth about $200. Whereas if you'd put it into Bitcoin, your $1,000 would be worth probably about $3,000 or $4,000. That is why you don't want to get into altcoins too damn early. It's a hidden cost that you don't see until later in the market, unless you're really paying attention to Bitcoin dominance and actually executing on that as part of your strategy. It's just a sad truth. I like some ideas we got here. I like some ideas that we can bounce off of here and come back. There might be an actual trade setup here since we are at the bottom. So Ironfish, not the, well, this is against Bitcoin. Let's, Ironfish against Tether. Oh, and that's against Bitcoin. Also bottoming out. Now against the dollar, it looks like it may be at a decent place. So here we are. If you bought it at 276 and now it's down at 45 cents. Yeah, Ian Blaine says it's going to be now he said it's going to do a 100x, and it was from around these prices or leading up to those prices. So is she at a good spot to get swing high to swing low? She is. There could be a trade setup here that would be worth taking, but man, it will try your patience. I'm just going to say that. But it's got a 14-1 risk reward ratio with a 260% gain just to get back up to these areas here. And that's, if I'm going to sell this one, I mean, I'm going to be looking at taking profits over the higher areas. Shoot. She's doing a double bottom, maybe another double butt cheek here. She's got some stuff that she needs to get. I don't even think this is a great trade setup just yet. It's working on it. It will eventually break out, but it could still stay down here for a while. So we're going to skip over this one. This one's going to be on my. Well, I could put it on the chop block, but I'm not going to sell it down here at the low. Here's another one that I've been in for a while, ASTR, A-Star. And I'm trying to determine, this is when am I going to put you on the chopping block? No, because you're at the bottom. I've just got to layer out of you when you come back up. So A-Star, interesting. Oh, it's got the bullish cross here on the daily, so she should start picking back up. If you guys have got this one, this one's also, I mean, it's a good coin. It's got some good partnerships and everything. I think with Sony and whatnot, there's some good stuff, but it's just, you know, meme coins have been the performers and AI agents have been the performance, that the other niche groups have been the performance, other than things they're trying to actually solidify things for future development, which is what I get from A-Star. It's just that's the way it is. 14 cents I think would be a good target. This might be an interesting one to look at. I like the way the bigger moving average, 800, 600, 300, they're bullish. You got the golden cross. This one actually might have something here at the bottom. So a swing trade idea. Just to get right back up to the top area here at that 360 moving average. You put your stop losses below these candles. I'm on the daily. That's a 12% stop loss. You probably don't even need that much, but hey, I don't think that she will get down there because our moving averages are trying to flip. They have not done it yet. But it should be following through. After you got the 50 crossing, the 100 right there, right beneath the 200, it should follow through. This one will be a slow play. It will probably take it may take a month or so, 3 weeks or more for us to see price action like this take us up here or possibly higher. But I do see a possibility of a trade set up here, so I will share this one. Take profit target would be 95. Another good target would be right here at the 3.8 or the 236 Fibonacci area, just right around 80 cents there. You can get 46% gains at the top target. Let's see, 25% there. This is our new trend right here. If she breaks that, this is totally over. Putting this below that trend line is how I would do it, and that gives me a 10%. True, she can wick down there, but she shouldn't be doing it as she's gaining that too. She closes a candle above that 200 moving average. So the safest bet would be to look for a confirmation candle above that 200. I will share this one. This is one I don't think will get anybody wrecked. I don't want to share any kind of trade setup that nobody wants to get anybody wrecked. We're on the daily. So what I'm going to say is, if you do come over here to my trade setups and you see that I've got something and you might be interested in it, you got questions about it, just hit reply on it, ask your questions, and I'll address it. If there's missing information there, I can go back and fill it in if you seriously want to know it. So I will do that for you. I will do that. I'll happily do that. Here's one that we did on stream. KP3R. It is a nerdy developer project, mostly for developers, but hey, them developers have got money, and if there's something that they need, they want to get involved with, my golly, well, they can do it. Keeper, is this the chart? This is probably the chart that we're on, right? This is one of the reasons why I got into it, because it was at a bottom area. I think this was I think we had a different chart, but the $15 area was giving me bottom signals, and I thought I had even a different bottom signal. This is one too. It correlates, but I thought I had a 172 from a pull. I'm pretty sure I did this originally on a different chart, probably on CoinEX. Let's see what we got. CoinEX is where I've got it. Yeah, this was our actual chart that we were following here. And then after I determined that that was a bottom, that's when I got in. I actually got into it. I think I did it live here on stream, right? I just FOMO'd in. I was like, this is at a bottom. She's around 15. She bounced off of that. She's probably at $15, $16. And then she shot up to 45. Yes, I'm lost. She's come back down, and she's just been playing these ranges through here for a while. But right here in November, documented it. Yeah, I'm still in it. We've lost that trend line. Naughty, naughty, naughty. So what's going to happen now? We got a deep retracement for this. It looks like an 886. We can recover this, but now we can extend this over a little bit. It's a maturing trend line, in my opinion, and eventually we'll start getting some. It'll probably even come down more. Honestly, it'll probably level. Ooh, that's too much of an angle. Oh crap, would you? Would you? Have I got something to confirm that? Yeah. So if we don't break back up, oh man, that sucks. We could be seeing $21. That'd be a cheaper place to get in my personal opinion. This one can do some damage. We're in a falling channel pattern or wedge pattern, however you want to look at it. Bounce from that bottom at $15, and it's just going to take a while for it to get back up to $90, $111, $137, or getting back up to its all-time high targets back last cycle when it was got $1,890 or $2,000. And so if you wonder why I'm taking a chance on that one, there's your answer. And so $21, if we get there, doesn't look like a bad price on it. This is one to keep your eye on. Let's come over to the chart. Let's see, or to the chat here, because the next one down on my list is USDT, where I just made I guess where I sold some of my virtual a few minutes. Somebody asked for Solana. Let's go ahead and do that. That's in my margin place. That's a good one looking to follow right now, apparently. Nice, you at $215. We got in a breakout. It's like we're trying to confirm, trying to confirm a breakout. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we can habitually make is like, we got a breakout. On this time frame, it's a daily. There's a lot that can happen in a day. This looked a lot like it yesterday, but we didn't keep it. We came all the way back down. So you got to wait for confirmations if you want to have the best results, in my personal opinion. Now you can look at smaller time frames and see if you're getting some of those confirmations. If you want to try to front run, this is my opinion. This is the best way to front run. come down the smaller time frame. So we were at the daily, not confirmed, 4 hour. Well, that looks kind of interesting. This was it the day before. No, that wasn't the day before. Yesterday, it looked like you had a bigger one. I guess this was it, and this is where it went. Anyway, it looks promising here that we can hold. It's still got some work to do. So Solana, I actually kind of like this. We'll share this one because this is a good point. This would be a good point to add to your bags if you haven't already. 245. And in this situation, you might want to be a little bit more flexible with taking profits in that area. What I mean by that, you might want to treat this as a little more of a zone, because I think you'll see some people taking profits a little bit earlier there. You might even give yourself a little wiggle room, but a little cloudy area around that 245, 246 area seems to be where we're going to go. Now, I want to draw your attention to this trend line, a very strong trend line that we made this bottoming pattern here at support off the 800 moving and the 666 moving averages right there. Is she getting ready to go up? Let's look at our daily MACD though. The 4 hour MACD saying she want to pull back, smaller time frame, so you might get Solana cheaper over the next little bit. But here's our daily MACD on Solana. She's ready for up. Ready for some more up. 246, 272. I'm going to actually put you on that one. I'm actually going to put you on my fib. Because maybe my fibs are like Shakira. Well, they don't lie. I would look at the way that I pulled my fibs. If they didn't meet the targets and stuff, I will look and see what I did wrong before I will blame the fibs for being wrong. More than likely, it's something I did screwed up. The fibs are that good. The fibs are that good. That's my opinion, my play. So these are some nice little target updates here. I like that. We'll share that. Not so much a trade setup. Oh, we didn't even, do we? Oh, we got a reply there. Let's paste you there. Oh, was I doing a reply? I think I was. I think I screwed that. Okay, here we go. We paste you. Pretty sure that's the right one. Solana. Price and take payment updates. I'll just do it as a progress update with TP levels. And it didn't do anything. I may have to come back and tweak that one with explanations. So Solana, my idea is that we're headed up. Goody. Let's say hello to you guys real quick here. See what you guys got going on here. Jungle Boy says, I put 3x on virtual token, the green heavy. Bobby S says, hey everyone, the sun's out and Road Dog's on. I know, I'm still not outside in the sunlight, so I haven't turned into ashes just yet, but I get all the vampire jokes of the family because I am a night owl. Can we look at grass? Let's take a look at grass. Greece. I typed in Greece. I'm gonna go to Mix C. Nailed it. Oh, what? That's old news. So that was one of the targets that we had back in the day. What and what it did is, I think there was even a higher target I had for. Yeah, I had the two higher targets, and we never did it. There's no guarantees. I was looking for an AB equals CD idea, and I believe that was a 113. if I'm just eyeballing here. They don't always work out for that. And so in those situations, every time that I give an ABCD pattern, the double top scenario, we need to keep that in mind. So that's one reason you're seeing me do those new little things there in that way, because that's what we got to work with. Either we get above these areas to get up there, or we go sideways, or possibly entertain a lower low. And you have to read it through that. Not a biggie. If you fall in your coins, you're doing just fine most cases. So that was one of the targets. That's a 3. What is it, Road? You said you wasn't going to go through I can't get away from sharing my thought process. That's 886 area and 786 for the candle bodies. Yeah. So in your Fibonacci things, you want to get above the 618. These are possible reversal areas just for a range idea or topping out before we make a lower high idea. So if you do make a lower high, usually you're looking for a lower low. If you don't get that lower low, then you're probably in a range. And if you're in a range, you may just range out before we go back for the higher high, especially at this point in the market. Let's get rid of all of this and let's look at grass. So she's been ranging out. She's not really got past $4 or anything yet. This is cool. What do we got? We're hanging around the 0.5, and that can be really, really nice. Swing high to swing low. So from this fib pull that we got from this high down to this first low, we're in its jurisdiction. We are in its jurisdiction now. It makes the rules that we follow. It gives us the guidelines. This was the juicy accumulation area, the place that you should have picked it up at, because we didn't really hang around there very much. Surprisingly, that's cool. We bounced off of that accumulation area. Finding resistance 618. We've been above it before. We'll probably get above it again, and hopefully this time we will go higher. How much higher will we go, Road Dog? If we can get past the 786, 886 areas that we had, we will look for our higher high. The most common areas that I would look for immediately would be these, and actually I'm not going to put this one on there. And this is where my 2 will come in, since we got a 0.5 retracement right there. It's a definitely a moon boy, or not a moon boy target. She's on the radar. I'm saying she's immediately going up there, but we want to put that one on there. And we also want to put this 1618. Did we get the 1? The 1. And the strongest one, rather than go with the 113, since we did a 0.5, we want to go with this 1, because that could be as high as she goes. And it's as high as she's went before, but that 1. You can divide 1 by 0.5. That gives you a clue as to why they have some harmony. Believe it or not. So grass, wick, candle body. Ooh, we got another higher candle body. I'm going to count that one in. And then wicks. That, well, it works for me. If we go to the other side, from here down to here somewhere, candle bodies, we got a little bit of a squeeze of a triangle forming here. This one looks like it's got some Elliott Wave 5 touch ideas in it, which I don't get into, but you can dig into that. Thomas Bukowski goes over it. I'm cool with just being in this zone here. I don't need to start counting. But what do you say, Elliot? You got any counts for me? Oh, Elliot, you ain't got no counts for me. Yeah, you do. Oh, you don't count it the way he does, though. So there's different rules to apply to Elliot through these things. I'm not into that, but you can be. I'll tell you where to find that idea. Right now, in the smaller time frames, are you getting okay? We did our price action analysis. What's she looking like on as far as indicators go? This I believe is going to be your best guidance here is the daily MACD. Now I see a little tiredness there. Let's go down to a smaller one. Okay, here's some tiredness, but she may be turning around. I went from daily to 4 hour. Just checking. Here on the back on the daily, staying with the bigger time frames. 9 moving average, trying to think about crossing that 21. That's good. Prices above all of these. But we got to get these two little moving averages, 9 and 21. They need to cross that 50. Until they cross that 50, we could be hanging around here and come back and talk to Mr. 9 moving average around 264. So you got that idea. We'll pan that idea out on the smaller time frame. Swing low to swing high, and we will look at this 618 Fibonacci area for a possible pullback. 50 moving average is also hanging out there. That is at $2.66. We could be looking at that. So that's what I'm getting for. Oh, that's nice. She's trying to make a move. Okay, let's look at this on the 4 hour. She below the 9 moving average, but the 9 is not crossed bearishly over that. I do see a 200 attempting a bearish cross over a larger moving average, and that makes me think that we can get some up and down, and even get some retest of this area down here. Right now, it looks like she wants to try to find some support there, maybe work on a breakout, but she ain't quite there yet, right? She's not quite there at doing it yet. I'm not against it, but you got to claim this trend line and get above that 9 moving average, and you might have something coming back up here to 337. So that might be a shorter term idea. She could come up here and double top and then come down. Those ideas. But as long as we got these moving averages nestled below here, even though they're getting more bearish, you know, that leads us a little bit more likely to visit these areas. This looks good though. It's got some good signs. 1 hour. I think it'd be interesting. I really don't think she'll get much past 336 if she breaks out though. Let's see. I'm no fortune teller. I'm just giving you what the moving averages are saying. George Toshi, how's it going, George? Oh, Jorge says, hope Swarms keeps performing. I'm not even familiar with that one. It says, what my super chat? However, there is Zeus, that's a meme, and okay, that's the one I looked at, and Zeus Network, which are completely different. I think I did. Okay. Sicario says, okay. It was me, Zeus Network. Obviously, thanks. It's on MixC. Chat won't let me post contract price. Okay. But it's okay. You did TA on the right chart, so don't sweat. Well, but I didn't do it on Zeus Network. I want to take a look at Zeus Network just to make things right. If I can spell it. What the hell is going on with me? Zeus Network. Okay. Now you said MixC. We'll do that one. Okay. Interesting. So some people would see this and as a possible cup and handle form, especially when you start coming down here. Now that was totally invalidated with all this bullcrap. The cup and handle ideas on the smaller time frames can be tricky, especially if they're coming in the top. How do you tell the difference between a cup and handle and a double top, especially if they got rounding in there? The only way you can do it is look for invalidation. I asked that question to a 1 minute flag chaser and they banned me because they had no answer for that, I guess. They called me a weirdo and said, you're banned. And I was like, it's a legit question. I'm just curious, you know, you should have, I would think that you could tell me something like that if you're a cup and handle expert. I just want to see his opinion on it. How do you tell the difference if you're seeing cup and handles all the time? How do you know if they're going to play out or not? It's just, or is it just, oh look, a little cup and handle-ish vibes to the upside? I mean, what does that teach anybody? Other than bad habits to just look for a shape and automatically assume they're going to play out. And that, you can't do that with pattern trading. You can find shapes, but there's some qualifications that you need to be looking for if you want the best results. If you're just looking at the shape, oh, this one's got this shape, this one's got that shape, that might be why pattern trading is not working out for you as well as you would hope. I'm just being honest. I mean, there's some things you need to look for. There's some guidelines. There are guidelines, and if your guru is not telling you what those guidelines are, or giving you resources to help you find those guidelines, such as, this is where I do it every time, the pattern trading, the patternsite.com, a free, totally 100% free alpha site for pattern trading by the man who wrote the book on pattern trading, the Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns, Thomas Bukowski. Changed my life. It can change yours too. It's not my only source of information, but it's one of the best that I found, so that's why I share it with you guys. He does not charge you $99 a month to tell you to chase flags to the upside. He tells you how to make it and do it right, and God bless him for that. Breakout to the upside, possibly. We're working on it. Finding some serious resistance here for Zeus Network. It's time where we zoom out. Oh my God, what happened here? Who vomited red lines all over my chart? That's just stupidness. That must have been an apple water night. What the hell? Look at this when you zoom out on the daily. Nice scallop. Scallop is just a rounding half circle kind of shape that usually plays out very, very well. It's bullish. It's very bullish. It will have its ups and downs, but it tells you basically when you really zoom out from the highs to your lows there. I mean, for real, it's a 1-to-1 move with a target right here, 224. Explain yourself, Road Dog. This sounds like something I've not really heard before. I'll be happy to explain. We got price coming up here to our highs in April, 115. That is our top. This is our bottom. You got to get above that top, make a higher high to go anywhere. It can go up here and get rejected. You form the channel right here. I know we don't have our number of touches to complete that, but in theory, that's what we're doing right here. We are forming this channel. It should probably have a halfway mark somewhere right through here. Well, actually, right there is pretty much dang it, right here in the middle. Just based on this alone, you have a measured move for this channel. Whether it wants to come up and make a cup and handy, come back down halfway and then blast up, I mean, that's all on the table. We're looking for, we won't get this move, or we won't get the expectation until we actually get a higher high. But once we clear that higher high, and that's what it's working on right now, we've got a 1-to-1 measure move that takes us up. That's why the Fibonacci, the number 2 that I marked when I did it with the fibs, that's why this measure move goes right up there to it. It's all the ratio proportion thing with price action. I know it may sound crazy to some of y'all to look at it that way, but it's largely ratio and proportion. So if you can get into that mindset when you're doing your chart work, I think that might help you see things better if you've been struggling. Ratio and proportion, very important with the fibs. Now I'm going to have to break out my statistics college textbook somewhere and brush up on statistics and probability ideas that maybe might have escaped me memory, because that's what this is: statistics, probabilities. It really is. So 120 is our good target there for Zeus Network. Swing hard to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. Let's see if we can get a few cheaters in here. A few little shorter term targets to go for a higher high, just based on this move. And I'll be looking at 109. So not the greatest place to be looking to get in my personal opinion, to build a bag, but not the worst. I mean, buying at a breakout area like this might work for you. Just got to remember that you still got some angles that need to be respected here. Price is doing a little breakout on the smaller time frame. Smaller time frame is trying to give us a breakout. First signs of it. That looks good. Actually, I mean, I've got no guarantees that she won't come up to 98 cents and double top, or maybe just make a higher high at 109 and then start coming back down. But it's not a bad it's not a bad place to do an entry for a trade if that's one that you want to take. You might be looking at this as a possible Adam and Eve that is confirmed, and you would not be wrong. I mean, for it to find support, I mean, you're looking at a bottom pattern or a top. The biggest thing, if you clear the areas here, then it's a channel, people. It's a channel. It's just a sideways channel. It's a sideways accumulation channel. All right. And once you break up past this accumulation zone and can hold it, you got a chance of this channel playing out. Whether you want to call it an Adam and Eve bottom, it's at support. You might get by with that. But just know, if you're trying to play a bottom pattern at a top, they don't always work out right. They don't work out as well as they will if they're an actual bottom pattern. And that would give us to $1 psychological support for that measure move if that happens. Let me color code it so if we come back I can tell what we're doing. So smaller time frame, it looks like she wants to pump up. And possible do a double top scenario is what I would be looking for. Until we finally get up past 118 and then we can book it. Joe says, God, I'm going to have to go in about 20 minutes. Hey, I appreciate you, Joe. Appreciate you for being here. Crypto Frontier says, Cerebro on base chain looking for a spot to top up my bag. Will it go lower? Let's take a look. I like the way you framed that question. I think I've got a little bit of this. Oh no, what happened? Maybe I'll just go over here. We'll go with, you said on base. Cerebro, this should be a, so base. This is on Uniswap, and is this in US dollar? Yes, okay, we're in US dollar terms here. Let's zoom out. Don't have all the usual tools at my disposal, but I don't always need them either. I just use these things for confirmation for the most part, or maybe they have some insight. They're not necessary for me to have all those indicators, or don't always even eyeball them at the same time. Trend lines and Fibonacci. I do pretty well just that alone. We're catching at a 0.5. Is it going to hold? We lost the 9-moving average. She's got a chance to bounce here. I'm not seeing the signs that I would want to see that it would be. Let's come down to the 1 hour. Any signs that you're finding support here? Some minor signs that she's trying to find support. She has not gotten above the 9-moving average. So whatever time frame that I come down to, I got to start seeing it regain the 9-moving average. That's what this blue line is. So here, last time on this 1 hour time frame that we were down in these areas, wicking off of there, it wasn't until we started closing candles above it that we started getting our up move, right? So we got to look at that. If that happens here, it can hold. You are setting yourself up, since we got this very strong area of support, for two situations. You got two situations to look at here, in my opinion. Either it catches here at this 382 and we get a big ass move, a 1-to-1 move, covering where we pulled our Fibonacci down here at the bottom behind my big fat turkey head to the very tippy top that we put at the top of our Fibonacci, and we will take this measure move and we will stick it right here on that Fibonacci, and that will give us this guy. If we had our Fibonacci extensions on this one, it should line up here. I believe it's 618 or negative 618. Let's go get a price label. Price label. And that's $1, about $1.07. Now, a 1-to-1 move like that is bearish, meaning that should be strong rejection up here, and we should get a steep correction from there. So it's a bearish setup, but it's very positive as we get up to targets. We like that idea. Okay, so that's one of the bullish scenarios. One of the bearish scenarios, which could be bullish short term, is that we come up, we don't make a higher high over this area. I'd like to use a different fib to show this. From this, I want to go from swing low to swing high. Oh, my bad. Swing high to swing low. And you see me using this method a lot. Identifying accumulation zones and then markup zones in areas that we have to get past. And if we don't get past the 618, well, we're either going to range here or we could be looking at a lower low. And if you can see that if we don't get past this shoulder over here, it makes an excellent top pattern of a head and shoulders pattern, an actual legitimate one, not just, oh, it's got head and shoulder vibes, or it's kind of, no, it can. That's got a steep measured move that can bring us down to these areas. It may not go all the way back down, but that does kind of bring the idea that we'd be coming back to retest our very bottom back here. Look at that little very bottom idea at 26.6. So we don't want to see that play out, but short term, look at the possibility for profit if you bought down here. Took a chance on it. That could be up to almost 30% gains. 20 to 30% gains. A little risky, but you can add in there and see if we can get above the 0.5 and the 0.618, especially the 0.618. We need to get above that. This one needs to be, let's make her dotted. So it looks, so if it gets above the 9 moving average on the smaller time frame like this, like the 1 hour, that would be a nice one to confirm on. Or the ideas that we saw in the bigger time frames. That's how I read it. Because dang, man, coming down here to these areas. And then to narrow that in just a little bit more. There was a super chat for this, so I go into a little bit more detail for super chats. I'm just saying. That's also the 886 full retracement. There's lots of confidence that this could happen, so could come up and then get a bigger drop off. And when would that be? I don't know. End of the month, maybe. It might. No, that's this within. We're on the 1 hour. This could happen within this weekend or something. So that idea could be playing out this weekend. We would think. So it might be. It might even come back to 26. Oh my gosh. But I would be looking for trend line 886, 786 or Fibonacci's for a real steep discount. I would be looking at doing a stop loss idea, mental or however else. If we come up here, I mean, and start getting rejected, you could look at, selling off a certain position, a certain amount, because more likely she would be coming down. Yeah, all kinds of ideas that you have to figure out for yourself how you're going to play with your own bags. But those are some thoughts that come to mind to me, how to play it. Some options. And you may have options that I haven't thought about. I may have some that you haven't thought about. We just kind of sharing and throwing things out there. Can you analyze Solana on the shorter time frames? Well, let's come to the 15-minute. So like this, you're looking for a bottom. I mean, I'll just break down what I'm saying. Adam and Eve bottom and pattern, which it failed. But then she started playing out, making higher lows. So then we started pinching, probably started squeezing. I still like the Adam and Eves, even if they don't break out or anything. They're still a good indicator that we're at a, this could be a local bottom. even if they don't, do perfectly and start going up from there. It still can signify, hey man, we're still in bottom territory. We're just ranging out at a bottom is how I read that. Oh, we got a bottom pattern and we're ranging out at a bottom. When we range out at bottoms, we usually break out. Especially at this point in the market. If we're in a bull market, we expect to, if we're in a bear market, we're automatically expecting that sucker to break to the downside. Let me go over this. When you come over to Thomas Bukowski, you will notice on the patterns, he's got results that you can expect in a bull market, and you get some different results on a lot of these things if you're in a bear market. Those are some things that most of your pattern traders are not telling you, or it's not coming out a lot. They're played in different parts of the market in different ways. They perform better in certain markets than in other markets. Bullish patterns perform better in a bull market. Bearish patterns perform better in a bear market. Those simple ideas, but it needs to be articulated, I believe, by YouTube personalities, especially if you're a pattern trader, because a lot of people look at pattern trading. Some people look at it and love it, and some people have tried it and maybe they just had a bad teacher, had a bad experience and didn't get the results, like the flag to the upside. Why does it never work for me? Thomas Bukowski, great source for what to expect from price action, I believe. For pattern trading, I can't recommend a better teacher than Thomas Bukowski, and all you got to do is just spend time doing the boring work. That's what nobody wants to do, is spend that boring time going over this. Sad but true. Which gives me an ability to have my spot where I can kind of convey these ideas. And that gives me a platform. So I'm not bitching about it at all. I'm just being honest with you. I'm telling you where my stuff's coming from, a lot of it. So Solana, let's go to the smaller time frame. Let me go to my little 6 minute. I mean, the bigger time frames was telling us things looking good, so that's going to be reflected on the small ones for the most part. You will get your pullbacks and everything. We came up here and now we're going sideways. Local pattern, if I'm going to look at a local pattern, I mean, it's got a good chance to break to the upside. About 70% chance for a falling broadening pattern to break to the upside. She did lose this, and so what would that tell us? Well, we got our initial trend line happening, all these other things, and we lost. Follow your trend line, it got rejected at the top. That was bullish that it went up there to get rejected. Now it's just flat. This is all looking bullish. Look, and it's ascending, drunken cupping bullshit. What it is a higher high and higher low. That's what you need to look for. Whatever pattern you're looking for, I don't care what name that you might see given on YouTube, because it seems like you got YouTubers wanting to name patterns after themselves to try to get some kind of clout or something like that. So they'll come up with new little terms or whatever for that. But that's ego, and that does not help you to be more accurate. It just helps them to feel better and get your money or something, whatever they're doing. Higher highs and higher lows, that's the teaching. That's the fundamental. If you're doing that, you're in an uptrend. I'm not trying to sound preachy, by the way. But other tricks that you can look at here, trend lines. Ooh, looky there, connect the dots. When you find support resistance flipped on your trend lines, you found a good one. Yes. Meaning that we get a bunch of these little crisscrossing dots and lines and everything. That means something. Couple that with some moving averages, like a 666 moving average. If we can't get above the 200 moving average on this particular time frame, we'll probably lose it. The 666, 800, the Fibonacci's, they're all coming in together, just telling us places this ready to catch us. And if this one's not strong enough to catch us, well, we got this one down here with a little bit more muscle. Catch us all. 800, 600, 300, they look good. 200 looks like it's flirting with breaking that. Are you about to dump us down? It could happen. You're at near the top of the pattern idea. She can stay in this pattern until she decides to break out. There is a 70% chance, according to Thomas Bukowski, that this type of pattern, even though it's a local one, still has a good chance to go up. She just might come back down to these areas before she does. So let me zoom in and see now how I follow this is that 200 moving average going across this purple 360. It might, if it does. I mean, price is already leading it down that way. We can get into this cloud and see lower lows or whatever. Pull a fib, swing high to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. She kind of respecting that steep trend line. I don't expect it to hold at all. What I'm doing now is just playing around with some angles. See if I get any kind of confluence. See if I can get a bite. $50 moving average, 382 Fibonacci, and this trend line angle is kind of makeshift, but the general rule right now, if we can get a good bounce off of 382, we can get a big move up. The 382 should be the new 618. So I would look at these ideas, but down here in these areas, it's on the table. The 1414 area, 212. It's all 212. We're so zoomed in that we're within pennies within these fib areas, and this is how tight this has gotten. So short term, can we see it? Yeah, gee, we could. I don't know if we will, but if we do, that's what I'm looking for. To the upside, well, we got those on the bigger targets. It could be a breakout. It's respecting, seems to be respecting another trend line, right? Yeah, respecting this trend line as well. So 230, I'm still shooting for that, even though we could probably pick it up a few dollars cheaper. SWE is at a new all-time high. How would you play it? Thank you, Bobby Oz. Appreciate your super chat. Let's take a look at SWE. Let's zoom out. Oh, it is? Oh, man. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for me getting in on this one early. I did take profits on most of it all the way up till we got to above $3 in the 350 area. And I've had to try to rebuild my bag because I pretty much I wasn't going to hold this one long term. I was just making a play for it. And then I'm starting to think, I kind of like this one for a little longer term play. So yeah, I've been actively adding to my bags. It's not been easy to build them back up to where I had them over here. But yeah, I'm glad to see it doing good. Let's clear out all this because, you know, she's far exceeded all the stuff that we're doing. Clearly, this one is going to be a strong one to follow during the bull market. She's been this strong with all the stuff that we've been through. You know, let's give Miss Cassie over at BitBoy's channel because she was the one behind it. Miss Cassie, hey girl, think you look hot, girl. You think BitBoy is smitten? I haven't seen much of her lately. BitBoy is don't go all in, BitBoy. Show some. Don't let her see that you're totally head over heels for her. I mean, gosh, BitBoy, she's not going to respect you if you do. That's just how life works. I hope that works out for him. Anyway, what I was trying to say, she was the one that was calling out SWE, and hey, Cassie, good job. She's got some brains behind those seductive eyes. Let me take my version of Cassie off of here. Oh gosh, I can't find the button. I guess we're going to have to look at her. So how would I play it? Oh, well, we are in price discovery again, and here on the daily, man, that looks good. So we are at the risky play ideas now, and SWE is doing what we hope things to do when we get into these situations. This is my least favorite setup, but at least SWE has been sticking with the program, right? We got trend line. She's going parabolic, man. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Even here with that trend line that we lost several times, she's back above it. We want to include it like this for a channel idea. So it looks immediately like we can be heading up to 575 short term. Well, the daily's telling me that. Let's see if we got some confirmations. Oh, yes, baby. I did that one backwards. I normally do it. I normally pick out my fibs and then put my eyeball targets, but we did it backwards. That's perfect. Perfect for 618. And she might have a really good day going on. So that's what I got in bigger time frame. She's ready to rock. She's doing some good stuff. Let me pull out a few little tricks here. Let me do a few things here. You got a 2618? For real, for real? Where are you getting your 1618 from, Elliot? Ah, I erased the wrong one. Turn Elliot off. Let me just run through a few little fib plays here for these price discovery ideas that we might be at here. That one. So I'm going with my 361.8% guy based on this one. Yeah. All right, so put my fibs on the bigger time frame just to take care of it. Fibs don't matter about your time frames because it's just based on price action, but sometimes it's just easier to measure and see things. See the points to measure from a little bit easier on the bigger time frames. So 578, I believe, is going to be our next target, our next high, and we might pull back and retest these areas about $5. 717. With an honorable mission at 675, but if I'm going to make a call, I'm going to stick my neck on the line for 717. Let's see if it plays out. That would be a swing trade that could take, we had several up and downs to get there. That's my take. Let's see what it does, but that's great. It's in price discovery. The number could be going up. I'm actually, since I will probably forget later on my sweet trade here, I'm going to take just a little bit of profit right there at 578, and I'm actually setting my limit orders here for my margin, my swing margin, because I need to start taking profits. Where are you, Swee? Darn it, Swee, where are you? I've got too many freaking positions open. Swee. I'll tell you what I will do. Let's share this while I'm thinking about it. Sweet 4-hour chart. So we'll get updated price targets there. I want to start doing this more over here. The problem is, I don't always remember which ones I set out and go through them. I like doing this on live streams, to be honest with you. Let's come see what you guys are talking about. I never did find my sweet position. Where are you, sweet? Oh, there you are. Now I can do this. Sweet. That looks awful. I got to sell there. 717 looks beautiful to me. I'm going to go with that. And I'm taking a pretty good sized chunk there. 675. I took about 20, I think about 25% there. And taking about 20% here at 675. And I'll probably do about the same here at 578. Yeah, I'm going to do about 25% there. It gradually decreases when I'm doing 25% at each one. It's actually pyramiding my orders, and let me explain that. So if I do 25% of my total bag here, another 25% here, another 25% here, it's tapering down on all those 20 or 25% that I'm using. That lets me take more profit at higher prices and just a little bit less profit at some of these lower ones. And then with my hope of doing that is either, well, one, to pay myself and maybe pull some of that out. A portion of it might be. But if SWE does get a pullback, which it will, at some point she will. They always get some kind of little pullbacks and reaccumulations and things like that. Or we get a big major correction in Bitcoin and the altcoin market at some point. We keep some cash reserves there from this and have it available and some margin available. I can take advantage of any pullbacks we get there. But cool, that's one that I got my price target set on. Cool. Let's celebrate the third super chat. Thank you, Bobby Yaz. Appreciate it. Joe says, I'm behind on schedule. See, great point. I talk about that. Bullish patterns work in a bull run. Yeah, and bearish patterns work very well in a bear run. I love entering long bearish divergence in a bear market. There you go, Joe. And again, Joe, Trade Intuition. Check him out. If you haven't before, go check him out. He's got great knowledge and information to share with you. He knows the game. He knows how to go it. All right, see you, Joe. I don't even think you got to hear what I said, but he's got to go. He probably has a live stream going on. Yeah, he does. He's got one going on Piper Academy. And I'm getting ready to get off, and I don't want to conflict with his times on that either. Just courtesy. Epsilon show 213 USD in the next few hours. Oh, you mean for Solana? For Solana? 213? No, we already passed that. We at 215 right now. Yetham Law. Looking here on the 1 hour for Solana, you see this cloud. That's a little concerning. I'm just calling out what I see. We could touch it, bounce it, might not even touch it at all. She kind of did a 90-degree angle there. That's kind of interesting. That's actually kind of a cool sign, because if it stayed big like this and kept, it would have swallowed us. We're above the 9 moving average, below the 21. We got some work to do, but if we can recover that and we see a cross of the 9 over the 21, more likely we get breakout. See 219, 220 really soon. Dave Forget, how's it going? It's a TRX. Man, don't I wish I bought a lot more of that. I got it because, with Tangem, they pay me with the Tangem wallets in USDT on Tron network. So, to do that, I need some Tron for gas fees. So I just think I put like $100 in it when it was about 11, 12 cents. I'm like, man, I wish I put more than $100 because she's doubled. I should have put 1,000 over there. Because now she's down. She got up to 27 cents. Tron, it's been an interesting project. Justin Sun's deal here. The biggest thing that it's done to add value to that network was that it got with Tether and gave them an option for a cheaper way to move your stablecoin. It's not that cheap right now. I'll be honest with you. It ain't that cheap. The best one I've found right now is Binance Smart Chain for Tether. And there's a lot of Tether fun. There is every time. baby, if they take Tether down, they're shooting themselves in the foot. If the U.S. government goes after Tether, that's one of the dumbest, stupidest things that they could ever do. They're hurting the dollar if they go after Tether. That's just basically it. Tether is probably considered to be too big to fail. The cool thing, the weird thing I'm seeing with Tether is going more toward the eastern. The BRICS nations are going to Tether, clinging to Tether, while the U.S. and all them we're trying to get in USDC. I trust Tether more than I do USDC. USDC is nothing but a CBDC in disguise. In my personal opinion, I think that's what the game plan is for USDC. Just calling it out there. Let's just see. So you definitely don't want Russia and China. Now they can get an advantage out of USDT, I believe. I think that's helpful. It's the biggest thing that the dollar has going for it, in my personal opinion. I mean, it's the world global reserve currency, but the biggest thing is that we're so used to it as a unit of account. We think of things in terms of dollars. International trade thinks of things in terms of dollars. And to change that and throw it to something totally different, and to just, whether it would be Bitcoin or be the yuan or some other currency, some other fiat currency, even the euro or something, taking that place, if something switches the unit of account, man, that throws the whole world off. But keeping it on that same dollar unit of account, whether it's actually going to be the dollar or just that value of it, however they can work that out, that kind of keeps things from going batshit crazy in the markets. So I don't think that China and Japan have any reason to go against Tether. I think they have good reasons to be supportive of Tether, as long as the U.S. can not do stupid stuff to make the world say, we don't trust you as a reserve currency anymore. We think that you guys have been doing your funny money business for too long, and we want to go somewhere else. Which is basically what we're saying with Bitcoin, right? Because they have been. But they're still the global reserve currency, and so I think Tether is doing just fine. They can't kill it without killing themselves, in my personal opinion. It would tank markets if they tried to take down Tether. A government or whatever is trying to take them down, they would be hurting the whole global economy. It would be felt across Wall Street and everywhere. Nobody wants that right now. That's just my take on it. You do not have to agree. So Tron, next target we got 34 cents. Brackets of Interest says, I've heard some YouTubers say it's alt season. What say you? I say no. I'll say it is not altcoin season. Let me finish up on Tether here. Is that bearish? That's bearish. Let me zoom out on this. Below the 200. 200's going up, but we're staying below. That's wild. 4 hour. That looks good. That's good. Okay, we're gonna have to struggle to get past 28 cents on Tether, or on Tron. So really, local time frame, that might be your top before she has to fumble around. But eventually, I'm seeing 31. She'll be getting there. Okay, let's get back to brackets. This question here. Let me post that one up. I've heard some YouTubers say it's altcoin season. I have too. A lot of them boldly declaring it's altcoin season. This is not what I consider altcoin season. Your best indicator of altcoin season, the way it's explained to me, and I believe it. This is what I attest to, is zooming out on Bitcoin dominance. And yet, we'll point out what altcoin season looks like on Bitcoin dominance. This was the greatest altcoin season that we had ever experienced back in 2017. That's when that's when Lambos and Rolexes were being bought left and right from people getting in on these little coins that just blasted off to Valhalla. This is when XRP went from hanging around 18 cents all the way up to 386 or something crazy like that. That's what this looked like. And that's Bitcoin dominance going down. She got a pickup, altcoins started tanking, and then they took off for a second leg. That's what happened. So every time that Bitcoin dominance is on a downtrend, We have a habit of calling it altcoin season, but the real altcoin season, the one that we all compare it to, the one in our minds that we're hoping that we're seeing around the corner, looked like this when Bitcoin dominance was up at 95%. We're not going to see that. Now, the scenario that I see that Bitcoin dominance could be doing, what I see on these bigger time frames, because our Bitcoin dominance, we never got back up there. So since October, so since 2017, that last little bit, now this is, altcoins did really good. They pulled back, and then at the very end, they had their blow off top. Right after Bitcoin topped out, and then people exiting Bitcoin and sending all their money to the altcoins, and that's what happened. And that's what we keep hoping to watch, rinse and repeat since the advent of altcoins. Never seen anything play out that good like it did that first time. So in August of 19th, there was a slow burn decline down, and I believe that was DeFi summer, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that, or maybe this was DeFi summer. I think this was, no, that was 21. There was a DeFi summer before I got into really getting into TA, because they were saying, you missed it. and that was somewhere through here. And that was, I believe this was DeFi summer. Joe might be able to shed more light on that. Here, December 2020, that was the closest that we had to altcoins. At from December 20 to the 1st of January, the top of the bull market was right here, altcoin season. And then it's just been it just stayed dead. So here we are getting resistance at a 618 fib, and we've been looking at that for years that we could, and we did. It looked like we were going to blast through it. The moving averages are looking extremely bullish to me. I think we can still continue up, and we might get back to some of these. I'm looking for 66%, maybe 74%. When we get up to there and then we drop, that's your altcoin season. That's the closest. That will be as close as we can get to what we saw in 2017. That's how I look at this, and that's now what they're doing. I mean, any pullback that we get in Bitcoin, we're calling it altcoin season now. It's not. It's just a rally. It's an altcoin rally. These were really rallies. This was altcoin season, and that was as close. These rallies are as close as we're getting to a true altcoin season, in my opinion. So what we're hoping for now is a rejection at the 618 on Bitcoin dominance, and we got that. But man, the moving averages, the Ichimoku cloud, the indicators, other than, well, your MACD has crossed, but she does this sideways, right? I don't think we're going to stick for an altcoin season. I think we're going to get a bounce in the altcoins, or we want to get blasted back down to bottoms again, or to lows again, low areas again. And that's why I'm making a point to take more heavier profit in my altcoins, especially as this number goes up. Oh my gosh. So as this drops, I'm going to be taking profits, because it's telling me there's plenty of areas it can catch. Here on the weekly, we got a 50 moving average here at 56%. We're at 56.9%, and you're telling me that we may only drop down 0.9%. We're going to call that an altcoin season. We will get good results. We can make some fantastic money on our altcoins. We've seen that recently with this drop. That was huge on altcoins. We were saying, oh my God, I think I can get rich just for this little move. Imagine if we do get to an area like this, and then we have the big one. That's when Bitcoin is probably topping out. All the money moves into altcoins for a short 2 to 1 month period. Make all your money, and then it's over. The market is over after altcoin season. 4-year cycles ended. Well, that's my take. And so, yeah, we're doing good coming down, but I'm not sold that we're in altcoin season whatsoever. I am sold that we are in definitely get paid season. And that's my take. Now, a lot of people, they go over to, there's a different metric to look at it. And I mean, this is where I think that they're kind of getting it. And Tokenmetrics, our market indicator right here is just the one I'm looking for. Here we are. Bitcoin versus altcoin season. Now, what are they using here? because they're obviously adding something else besides Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin versus altcoin season indicator compares the cumulative returns of altcoins relative to Bitcoin to identify whether we are in an altcoin season. So they're looking at the relativity of if altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, and that's what they're calling a season. So basically what that means, they're calling Bitcoin season anytime the altcoins are gaining against it. That means anytime that Bitcoin dominance is coming down, they're considering us moving closer and closer to altcoin season. Still, we never really got over here except for August of 2022. We were in the green there. We were deep in the green, halfway in the green. May of 2021, remember that was the top. So right over here, this is what the top looked like of the market according to this chart. And these are what the bottoms look like. We're in the middle. We're still in this little gray area, this little dark area between the red and the green. We're in neutral territory when it comes to altcoin season, basically. Leaning toward moving up that way, but every time that's moved up that way, it's come back down to Bitcoin season. I don't think this is going to be any different. We're going to move up, and then we come back to Bitcoin season. We're going to move up, and then we keep coming back to Bitcoin season. And Bitcoin season will get us up to the 66% dominance, or maybe higher to the 70% dominance. Either one of those, and then that's when we might possibly get our altcoin season. I'm starting to lean more toward this one right here, unless the governments all start FOMOing into Bitcoin. That would get us up to 74%. When we get world governments doing the world reserves, that puts Bitcoin as the number one for this cycle. This is Bitcoin's cycle. And altcoins are going to be left behind. Bitcoin is going to be the big gainer until when it finally tops out, and then all that money starts pouring into altcoins. And then that is when all the big money is going to be made. That will be huge money. That will be buying multiple Lambos, multiple estates. You would be looking at returns that could give you, multiple houses in multiple countries if you play it right at that point. We're not there yet. We are in the very, very beginning. We got a year to get there, though. So I'm curious, will it go up to 66 or will it go up to 74? 14 people hanging out with me. We've been, oh my God, I've been going live 2 hours. I'm going to give it a break. Come back tonight, 10:30, my usual time here. And Joe is probably 15 minutes into his show. If you guys want to go check out Joe, I think he's on Piper Academy. Let's see if that's what's going on with Joe. I would invite you. Is he there? He's not. Streamed one day ago. Maybe he's not going live right now. I thought he was. My bad. Oh well, if he was, let me check out his stream and make sure he's not live. He might be on live on his stream. If he was, I thought we could all go over there and say hello. No, I don't know. Maybe he just had other obligations. But I'm going to go ahead and call this end the stream. I may do some more of these. I may do another one tomorrow if I get time, just to come back and do the same, just going through the coins, posting setups. So if I missed anything, try to catch me tonight. John Hill, get on Shiba before we go to the moon. Do good. That's some new names to the stream. Welcome for being here. The T is for Tau BitTensor. That's also a good project that I'm in. Answer me. Hey, Road Dog. My honest opinion, I think the late stream runs the same as Josh as Project Moon Gold. Josh from Project Moon Gold doesn't do it every night. He has certain nights that he comes on, and sometimes we might overlap. That's just the thing. I'm not going to change my times for him. I'm sure he's not going to change his game for me. And we don't need to, because you don't always have to catch everything live. You can fast forward and catch all the good parts. But yeah, there will be conflicts. You won't see me doing this at 10 o'clock in the morning either. But I'm glad you guys are here, and hopefully I'll see you guys tonight. Hang out with me, new faces. Come on, join us, hang out with us. We'll have some fun. Good day, everybody. Thanks for being out here. You made it a great stream. We had a good turnout, about 25 people tops. That's awesome. See you guys tonight. Go out there and make that money, cause the altcoin, they're on the trying to go up this weekend. See you guys. Oh, that's the wrong screen, Sean. That's the news. We've got an end screen here somewhere. Sean, hit the right button. Seriously, now.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on.
Oh, Sean, you got me picking my nose. You're not supposed to do that. Haha, you suck, Road Dog. Oh my god. Oh my god. You won't believe what this little sucker's doing.
Make you look like you're so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Fade out of the ground, you ain't no one. You was star, blow it up like supernova.
Hey, Billie Jean is not my love. Dang it, Sean, you said. Switch it over now, Sean. Let me get the hair effect. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl that thinks that I am the one. Sean? Haha, you're sucker, dog. Gotcha.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make you look like you're so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Fade out of the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my heart.
Good night, everybody. See you tonight.
Really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wife know you're begging